Hiya Pete, great to meet up with you again on Saturday. I know we were a little bit panicked when you first arrived at the weekend. We just needed to make sure there was one or two things that just really needed nailing down. Similar from sessions that we've done previously. The main ones, really, if we just look at top left here, and just as we start taking it back, let's have a quick look at the hands and the left arm. Just have a look at the line this traces back when you start swinging, as you start swinging the club back. The club that you've actually put on the floor was actually quite well placed, because it actually shows roughly the line that your hands actually trace back. So this straight away, the hands and arms are coming too straight on the way back, so which is actually getting everything quite upright. Even though it might not look it might look like it's still coming around your body, and as we later discussed, it's not really moving properly in the circular motion that we would actually want. And if we just let this go to the top of the backswing here, we can see how high the hands have gotten and the difference in planes between your shoulder and your arm, left arm here. And that was leading to a variety of different shots, with it, the odd shank, as much as we don't like saying that word. There was a couple of shanks in there. There was a lot of just generally heel strikes, and just generally quite poor compared to what we were used to. We've got a view from the front here as well, and one thing we picked up on straight away was how straight your feet were, which might seem quite insignificant to some, if we're not really looking at it properly. But as we know, getting the feet pointed too straight, actually it helps to increase resistance for your hip turn. So as we start this back, we'll just get to the top of your backswing here. First thing we noticed really was the lack of your shoulder turn, which in itself isn't actually too bad. The reason why we don't have a lot of shoulder turn is because we don't turn the hips enough. We don't rotate the hips enough or properly. So as we can see here, there's still some flex in into this right leg. You can see there, and you can still see most of your belt, so we know it's not really turned. If you look on the left hand side here, again you can see there's still a lot of flex into this right knee. It's not really straightening properly. So that was one of the first things we worked on. So straight off the bat, we talked about just flaring those toes out a bit more, just to allow your hips to turn a bit more. So if we just look bottom left here, one thing we also touched upon, which in fairness we're not quite doing properly here, was just talked about just getting the eyes to look down at the ball at setup, whereas at the moment it's more in this sort of region. We talked about how keeping the chin up actually makes it more difficult to turn the shoulders in a circle, and it can lead to a bit of manipulating and getting the shoulders off plane. If we just watch Charlie here on the way back, we talked about from P1 to P2 getting the hands to trace on a more inward line, and we can see there how much this left arm has really come in. If we just take this one back to P2, we can see that there is a certain amount of inward with the hands. You can see they're nowhere near as much as what we're really looking for. And also as well, because the left arm's coming away from the body, rotating the club behind you is also meaning that we're getting this gap between the arms and the body. Just highlight that there. You can obviously see quite a large gap And you can just see with Charlie here down at the bottom, there's no gap at all, just allowing his arms just to stay more connected to his body. So we worked quite hard on, like during the half an hour session that we had, on this visual here on the floor. We've got the two canes pointed in at roughly 20 degrees. Like I said, the feet flared out a touch more, and then also just making sure we were keeping the club face looking at the ball. So this is after a good 20 minutes of practice. If we just take this one back, we can see there a lot more in, and the best thing here really was the fact that there's no connection between the arm and the body. One other thing we also mentioned was tucking the shirt under your left elbow, under your left armpit, sorry, which just gives you that bit more of a connected feeling. Not allowing the left arm to get away from the body. And if we just take it to the top here, that is in a much better position than we were at the start. If we just take Charlie back here from P2 back to the top of your backswing at P4, you can see the hands have risen up onto the elbow plane. So it's set up, we drew the line from the ball up through your elbow, and you can see that that's allowed the extension, the extension in your backswing has allowed the hands then to raise without you feeling like you really need to get the arms off the body. And you can see here, if I just get rid of these lines, excuse me, okay, if I just get rid of these lines here, I know we mentioned about the left arm, excuse me, yeah, we talked about the shoulder plane and the arm plane are much more lined up as opposed to where we were before. So getting the arms a bit more connected into your body, it stops a lot of the heel strikes that we were getting previously. If we just run this back down, you can see there straight away, much more centered hit. As you can see here, as we come in, just trying to highlight this here, you can see definitely showing the heel more, and obviously it's the last thing that we really needed. Excuse me, there we go. Obviously the last thing we really needed was to start showing it the heel a bit more. So instead of hitting these big blocks and the odd, forgive me for saying, shank, just getting a bit more of a solid strike, a lot more of a solid strike in fact. You can see here that you're really trying to hold on to that left arm. And you can actually see the gap here from the earlier ones. And you can see here that you can just trying to keep everything just a little bit tighter. Obviously there's still a little bits here that we can work on, but a really good improvement. So best of luck with it, and I look forward to speaking to you soon. Bye for now.